Welcome, everybody. Could I just have a mic test? Can you all hear me well? Just a yes would be great. Wow, quite a few people on. 60 some. Very good to say that we only just put it out there a few hours ago. Welcome, everybody. Brilliant. Thank you for being here today, and welcome to my, I don't want to call them secrets. It's just things that I've practiced over the years on working with crystals, and this is exactly how I work with the crystals. So today I chose 3 crystals. Now, before I start, I'd just like to ask you all, how are you all feeling? If you're feeling really, really well and you're happy and you're raring to go and you think you've got really good energy within you, I think this is a good time to choose 3 crystals that you'd like to work with tonight. That would be great. Now, if you're not feeling too good and you want a little bit of just healing, then simply watching this and closing your eyes and feeling the energy at the time, I think it'll do you good. I think, you know, there is some good things about being able to talk to you via the screen, and we try and get the best energy we can. So I've got my 3 crystals here. A beautiful, gorgeous piece of tanzanite, phenomenal piece that I'm working on. Azurite, which is again phenomenal. You can't see it because the color is incredible. And another piece here, which is on the mother stone, so you can see the mother stone. Absolutely gorgeous. Another piece of azurite. So my 3 pieces are here that I would work on. Just say when you're not here, this is how I would work. So I'm going to sort of talk the way through it. So I'm not actually going to do the healing intensively, but I'm going to show you in this next half hour to 45 minutes of how I work with these crystals. The reason why I'm not spending too long with it is because I've got a podcast to do with somebody else. So it's a bit tight, but it's all good. I hope you're all doing well. So first of all, I just want to say thank you to everybody for being here. A spiritual warrior, elements girl. My eyes aren't as good as strong as they should be. And my dyslexia is crap. So yes, Jennifer James, I can see Brendan. Always lovely having you here, Brendan. Drews, it says, and I can't scroll down, can I? Oh, wow, there's loads of you having a chat here. Hi, Alan. Lovely to see you. Hi, Peter. So a wonderful crew are here tonight to bring good energy. We have a lovely set of souls here tonight. Angela, is that Rodney? Okay, so thanks, guys. Thanks for being here. So well, let's get on with it, shall we? Let's do it. This is the important thing. Get your 3 crystals, put them in front of you, okay? So when you've done that, just focus on your 3 crystals and which one calls to you to work on first. So the tanzanite is calling me, so I'm going to move the other 2 crystals out of the way so they're not directly in the energy that I'm going to work with, okay? So that means that now I'm just focused on 1 crystal and on its energy. So there's 3 categories of how I work with crystals, okay? There's kind of 3 things I do. So the first thing, when I take this crystal, I ask myself, what is it that I want to put into this crystal? So that's my focused energy. So I will focus an energy and say, okay, this crystal I want to feel, I want to heal, I want to strengthen. So whatever you want this crystal to do, you just attune to and you write it down or feel it, up to you. So this crystal, I want this crystal to help with nerves. I want this crystal to help people break out of their mind so that they're free. So I'm going to write break free. And lastly, I want people to feel secure, protected, strong, powerful. Feel protected. Okay. So that is what we're going to do now. So I'd like you to maybe think about that or write it down. I don't write it down anymore. I simply have the thought as soon as I hold the crystal of what I want to put into this crystal. So you can either lay it in front of you and you can blast your energy to it, or you can simply hold it in your hand. For me, I'm always comfortable with it in my hand. So I will hold it in my hand. Either hand is fine, or both hands together like this, whatever feels right. So as I'm sitting, normally, if I'm doing the healing work, putting the energy into it, I either hold both hands like this, okay, or I'll put the two hands down here and simply close my eyes. So we'll begin. Right? So I'll talk you through how we do this. We begin by taking deep breaths through our nose and exhaling out through the mouth, bringing in the new energy and clearing the old toxins that have been stuck in our stomach and all the negative energy that we need to clear out from us. And that way we're getting a clear vessel. We become the clear vessel. In this moment, you should start to feel more sensitive around you. You'll start to feel your body and your energy. You start to feel lighter. However you feel about the crystal and however the crystal feels about you, you simply continue focusing on what you would like to place into the crystal. So even if you have a headache or stomach pain or any feeling, simply allow that to pass. Let it be, but focus on the crystal and what energy you want into the crystal. So we begin. I always recognize somebody in front of me on a chair as if they're facing me. And I recognize them by way of their nerves, shaking, moving, twitching, all the nervousness within them and the nervous system being all over the place. I witness this person, and as I look at them and I go over to them and give them healing as I'm sat down, my consciousness moves to them and begins to heal them. The energy that is now creating within my hands is going to heal the nervous system. So wherever I decide to move to this silhouette, this person who is struggling with nerves, and I find myself going to the head, I place both hands at both sides of the head and I focus on the energy that runs through me into this silhouette, this soul's head. And I start doing the healing work. As I close my eyes and take a slow breath, hold that breath and exhale out and still focus on the silhouette and myself giving healing to this feels like a man. And I am stood above him, behind him, his shoulders, as I can see looking down, and both my hands are placed upon his temples as the healing is taking place. As the healing continues, I see the shaking slowly becoming less and less. I continue the healing till this man or woman has stopped shaking completely. Now, this can take anything from 5 minutes to 1 hour, 2 hours, whatever it feels, but I continue putting that beautiful energy which is passing through me and going straight through my hands into this beautiful man who is continually shaking right now. In fact, now the shaking is getting even more intense. It's slowed down, but I can see it becoming more intense again. I continue with the healing and know and trust that the healing given is going to heal this person. So I never falter, never doubt. I trust in the work and I continue giving this silhouette healing, this man healing. I'm stood over him. He's sat down on a chair. He's comfortable. His shaking is normal for him. It may be getting a little bit worse, but that's because we are hitting the root cause of the nervous system, and it may take time. As I watch this man, I see that the left hand is shaking violently now, and the right hand is starting to slowly reach a kind of normal, but every now and again is twitching. His whole body is moving and twitching. His head keeps twitching, and I keep giving the healing. You may ask, am I healing somebody right now? Astral travel. I've always asked that question to myself while I'm doing it. And to be honest, I like to think that without even realizing that I am actually giving healing to somebody right now in this world that needs their nervous system healed. And this is what I've been doing for 20 years. As I'm continuing to do this, the right hand now has calmed completely down. As I see the left hand, it's getting better and better every moment. The head has now started to only twitch every few moments instead of constantly. So I can see now there is a breakthrough of what was really awful to watch, and now it's passing. The knee that I saw moving on the right is no longer moving and twitching, and the knees are fine now. The head, less and less twitching, more and more space between any movement. So we are now finally starting to heal the nervous system within this body of this man. Now, I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to now move this energy completely, move the focus and image away, and pretend that I've been doing this for maybe 1 or 2 hours. Now, after this person would have felt better and there's no more twitching, that would be my moment to move on. I now see a silhouette of somebody coming to sit down. This person is completely and utterly broken. Somebody feels trapped, totally trapped in a world that they can't move from. They feel that there's no way to get out, and they're just there in pain, sobbing, not knowing what to do. So I now place my hand on this person's heart, which feels like a feminine. And now I give energy to heal the heart and free them of their burden and imprisonment. I'm getting hiccups, which is normally two things. I'm not drinking enough water, but when I'm healing, it's normally there is healing work taking place. and that is the cleansing of healing that's coming out from my body too. So it's normally a good indication that healing is taking place. My hands are cupped and on fire. So I'm happy that I'm able to still feel this while I'm communicating with you. Deep breath through the nose. Clear out through the mouth. Don't worry about any pain that you're receiving, any headache or any itching or twitching or anything in the body. Just simply let that pass and fully focus on the one thing, which is strengthening the heart, clearing the walls, the prison within the heart, helping them feel free and strong enough to move forward. Give them freedom. My both hands are on this lady's heart, and I continue blasting energy with tears pouring, with sadness, with grief, with crying. I do not falter, and I continue to give healing. I see the happiness return. I focus on strengthening the heart, and I will not leave till this person feels strong, happy, and smiling. I focus all my attention on the heart. When we send pure energy healing to the silhouette, to the soul that we work on, when it comes to the physical, we see the physical disappear, and then the work is complete. On the emotional, I always try and put a little slant to it. And when finished with the client, I always put a smile on their face and see them happy, dancing, laughing, skipping, filled with joy, singing, anything to end that pure energy healing that then will go into the crystal that basically finalizes that emotion that has now been supported by pure energy healing, that has been targeted by the negative feelings and energies that are within that person, which the energy you're focused on is the same energy that goes into the crystal. So whatever you do as you're focused on healing somebody, all that energy is running through your hands, because that is the natural flow of energy. So now I'm starting to see the heart, and I'm feeling the heart very heavy. Whoever this is has been holding on to this pain for a long time. It feels like 17 years. And it feels like this soul just cannot take any more. And the tears are just quiet sobs now. Every few minutes, deep breaths and release of a breath as I continue giving healing to that heart. I will not leave until this soul finishes the crying and starts to feel joy and strength and I start to see the smile on their face. And when I finished, I will see them stand up and smile and hold their hands out and feel like this is the first day of the rest of their life. And I will not leave till that is done. So then we move on to the final part and let that person go, because we don't have all night, but this is the way I do it. Now I have somebody sat down who seems to be a smaller child. It looks like a boy. And within this boy, it looks like he's been abused, picked on, bullied, feels unprotected, unloved. And he's just sat there with his head down and his 2 feet are waggling on the chair. He's strong, but he is feeling let down. And he has to cope with all of this himself. So what we're going to do now is give him the strength to have the protection, to have the power, the strength within him to keep going, to feel as if he is protected. So I am now going to his back, slightly higher than lower, and I place both my hands on this lovely little child's back, and I begin the healing. You may start to understand why absent healing is so important to pure energy healing and pure energy healing and placing memory into crystal. As I give healing, his shoulders are still hanging down as if he has the world on his shoulders. And I continue to give healing to his back. The feet have stopped wagging and he's in total silence and he's receiving the healing. He does not know what he's feeling, but it's different and he's allowing me to continue. I now see a loving father giving his son a hug. I now see a loving mother, a sister, a brother, going over to hug this beautiful child. I see a grandma and a grandfather. All the support in the world, whether it's in this world or our spirit world, is receiving this energy of strength and protection. I see him begin to smile. I see the bully come up to him and say sorry, and can we be friends? The bully turns from being angry, aggressive, to kind. I see him at school being loved by all pupils and teachers. A new energy of caring. I see his joy at school. And I see him walking home with the same joy when he walks through the door. I see him drawing. I see the dog next to him, golden retriever. I see his joy and happiness. I see the young man growing older and older and more confident and more loved by everybody. My hands are burning, so again, another good sign. I see the smile on the young man's face drawing, so now I can stop. I take this crystal, everybody, And it may be 1 hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours, or whatever it's been. You can see how quickly time can fly as you do this work. And now this crystal so far has the energy of breaking free, of clearing the pain and suffering of bullies, to protect you and make you feel better. And anybody who suffers with any kind of issues with the nervous system, this will help them. And that is the first taste of pure energy crystals and how I work with them. So well done. I'd like you to put that aside and then choose your second crystal. I have my second crystal now. Now you know focused pure energy healing. We now move on to what I call the flow, feel, and the trust. And this is the information given by the crystal. So now I don't take the first section, clean it away, don't think about it. Now we move on to something else. The crystal bears great memory inside. It has great power. A crystal will always guide you into what it needs through the spirit world and whoever is in the room with you at any given moment. So I often used to say to people that I work on crystals because the spirit world will come to me and tell me what to give this crystal, because whoever gets this crystal will be guided by the very spirit world family who is asking me to put their energy into it. So it's not my energy, it's the energy of the spirit world, which I am just the vessel. So now we hold it in our hand and we simply wait for the information given. And I will take you through it now, if you allow me to. I would not speak, but I am speaking so you know what I'm doing. Okay? I do not want anything. I do not search for anything. I simply be. My heart is expanding out of my mouth. The first feeling I get is this crystal should be a crystal of the heart, helping awareness, strengthening, giving infinite energy to the heart. So, heart, I write that down. Move away from that and now continue to the next. Headache to the front. So we work on the head. It's funny because once you've recognized it, it moves on to something else when you get used to this. Depression. Your thoughts, your feelings, what come through is normally the indication of what needs to be placed into this crystal, i.e. the healing of all of these things. Okay, that's all I get. So them three things now, today, is enough. So I hope you're following and you're picking up the same thing and you're following with that, same modality. Or maybe you might change it to something slightly different, or you might just have one. I don't feel anything else, Matt. Good. If you don't feel anything else, that's the one thing you focus on. 3, sometimes they'll carry on and tell me 4 or 5. Sometimes it's just one. So there is no set rules or patterns. Follow your truth, follow your trust, follow the flow, and follow the feel. So it could be physical and it could be emotional. So what did we get? Heart. I felt that. But it wasn't actually physical. It was more emotional and spiritual to me. And then the head was physical. And then the depression was emotional. So we will start by the heart. So this way I focus on myself and I work on my heart till my heart expands out of my mouth and my heart starts to feel incredible and my heart starts to feel the connection, the consciousness, the power. and the strength. So I am focused only on the heart. And I see it not just as a beating heart, but normally as a seed of white light. And as I see that white light, I see it expand until the moment I'm satisfied with that energy. And I always breathe through my nose and blow out through the mouth. I do it in a way that doesn't complicate, doesn't cause any thoughts or feelings. I do it as natural as possible. So if you do the first few breaths through the nose, I like to hold it for a few seconds and then blow out. Do that once or twice or three times, then go into my natural breath work and then focus on the heart with a seed that is a white light, and I expand it and watch it expand in my heart, expanding, expanding through the chest, through the physical body, out inches, further and further. So now if you get any pains that is starting to heal or starting to hurt, offset, you quickly either write it down or remember it, knee. So now I'm getting terrible pain in my right knee, which means that this crystal is now healing knee. Again, I'm getting a terrible pain, sharp pain in the head. So this is healing head pain. These are side notes that I keep as I'm continuing to work. I wouldn't write it down, but I'm doing it just to show you to begin with. On a side note, this crystal could be healing and could have the energy of healing the knees or the head. So that could be either or, but it does not matter, and it's not necessary to focus on, as long as when you've finished working on the crystal, you do say that whatever pain that you receive, this is the healing process of where the pain is. Always remember that. The crystal always directs itself to the right place for what it needs. And remember, this is always about a singular. This might not heal everybody, but what you put into it may be. So the feeling of this crystal healing my knee could be that it might not heal anybody else's knee, because if it goes into somebody else's hand, it might heal their shoulder, it might heal their pancreas, whereas maybe my knee needed healing. So this is an offshoot of, just thought process. And you write it down because it's a possibility that it could help the knee. What we're working on is definitely the fact that this crystal is a heart crystal. Why? Because I am focused on the heart. I am focused on healing the heart. I am focused on working on the heart. This is focused, pure energy healing. I trust the crystal gives me information via spirit world that tells me what to focus on and how to focus on it. So I trust in this. So my heart feels like it's expanded. I now move on to the head. Side note, jaw tension. Even teeth, bottom teeth. Right side bottom. No idea why, but writing this down. This is to do with mercury poisoning. I'm starting to see the connection. The head pain is to do with mercury in the teeth, poisoning of the blood affecting the head, which is now part of the same feeling I get as I'm working on it, which is to do with Alzheimer's. I see clearly. I see everything. I hold many memories. I retrieve memories. I am stronger in my memory. I remember my past. I even feel the future. I am becoming aware. I am clearing away all the toxins, all the poisons, all the mercury. I'm healing the mind, clearing all the cupboards in my mind, burning away all the files in the filing cabinet in the mind, burning them away, clearing them all away. So I'm ready to fill those filing cabinets up once again. My mind is empty. My mind is clear. I laugh. I drink with my friends. I remember everything. I am astute. I am aware. Nobody can fool me. My IQ is high again. My wisdom, my knowledge has returned. My memory is strong. I smile with joy and happiness. I play the Rubik's Cube. I do crosswords and puzzles, mind games to keep my mind strong. I wake up remembering everything with love and joy. Okay, beautiful. Next, we move on to this feeling that I felt earlier on. I've cleared the last image away and the thought, and now I am working on this feeling around me, down, a cloud of heaviness. I feel sad. I feel unsure. I feel like there's nowhere to go. So now I focus on the energy of the opposite. I know where to go. I'm feeling happier. I'm getting stronger. I know who I am. I am beautiful. I am loved. And I love. I create. I have a million things to do. I am worthy. There is a reason why I'm here, and it's important. I feel all these things, and the reason why they're all coming back to me. There is no feeling down, only up. Growing in joy, in happiness, in strength, in love. I let go of my past. I forgive. I forgive. I trust. I flow. I allow our spirit world to guide us. I feel within this body a protection, a connection, a guidance to pull me out of every time I feel a little down. There is no depression. I see a smile, a laugh. I hear a huge laugh. Joy at living, joy of just being. The joy of life has returned. Sadness has gone. Suffering is gone. The pain is gone. I feel energized. I feel vitalized, re-energized, revitalized. I feel amazing. I've never felt like this before. My energy is changing. Positivity is within me, around me. I attract all the abundance, and I am filled with gratitude. Okay, that feels good. I've cleared that away. That's gone, that feeling. So we are now at the second finished crystal, which could have taken 1, 2, 3 hours, whatever. I normally work upon a crystal for 1 or 2 hours, and then I'll simply put it to one side. I'll kind of like remember what I put into that energy. And it's funny how when you go back to it, there's similarities all the time, even sometimes when you forgot. It's quite fantastic, really. So we've gone from focused crystal to let the crystal tell you. And now the third one for me is the one where you have family and you have friends. And what you'd like to do is focus on them particularly. So the people that you love in your life, this is where we focus on them and what we would like to give them and help them with. So I will give you a, for instance, say my daughter, China. So if I'm working on a crystal for China, I will look at China and what is it that I would want to give China? What would I want to see within China? And I do practice this on a weekly basis. It's twofold energy, of course, but it works when you're doing this. It works as an absolute healing, but you're also giving energy into the crystal. And it's the same way as when I was a pure energy healer. I'd work on my client, and as a beautiful, a second beautiful thing is that when you work on your client, that energy goes into the crystal. So I've just reverted from doing it on clients to do it this way. So now I want you to think of a friend or a family member, and you can also introduce yourself into it. So you can have your name. And the way you need to do that is to step out of yourself and not focus as if it's you. It's just a secondary you, something else, somebody else. That way, you don't become too personal, and sometimes you can actually see what is it you need to strengthen in your life. So within this what I normally do is I will hold the crystal and I will work it at the moment. So what I do is I don't focus on anything and let the crystal help me with what my family needs. Okay, so I'm focused on China, so I close my eyes. So please focus on somebody you love and hold the crystal in your hand. And this is how I do it. I see myself in a room, always see myself in the room. Depending on what color that room is what the room is. I don't focus on changing the color. I let the color be. So a color could be clear, could be invisible color. So you just sat in a seat opposite each other. So China is sat there now and she's smiling. And the room is starting to turn to a deep turquoise. And I didn't know that, but it's just starting to turn to that color. As I hold the crystal, I look at China and my focus is what happens in the next few minutes. So I'll take you through it as I would do, and I'll speak through it to what happens. As I feel my daughter, I feel she is growing in confidence. And that growing in confidence is what we will work on. More confidence, more strength, more positivity, more joy. In that moment, I then either stand up and give her that healing, or I just sit there and hold both hands towards her and give her the energy of all the things that I've mentioned. I give the crystal and my daughter the energy of there is no such thing as time. Enjoy your moment. Relax. Flow. Feel the energy of love. Allow love into your life. Trust in those that come into your life. Be open and allow good, kind, caring people into your life. Embrace them and never reject what is given. Be thankful. Use gratitude every day as your mantra. See yourself in gratitude. Repeat the words which are beautiful. I am grateful for everything in my life. I love life. I am grateful to be alive. I am grateful for everything that I do. And my life is fun, joyful, exciting, adventurous. I love life. I love life. I am blessed. As you can see, I'm speaking for her, to her, and within her through the crystal and through my hands blasting at her. You don't need to say it out loud. You just need to say it within your thoughts, within your focus, and with the energy and vibration, which then runs through into the crystal and becomes the memory of everything you do in this moment. So my middle toe, not my big toe, but my second or third toe started to hurt. So now I focus on my daughter's toes Strengthen the toes. Strengthen them so they're strong and there is no pain, no issue, no problems. Strengthen the toes. Not the left, but the right foot. Now the toe has healed, which means that the energy within the crystal will heal the joints of the toes. Anytime you get an offshoot of a feeling or a pain, this is how I embrace this. Place the memory as given to me by what you need to focus on. Send that focus into the crystal, and you have a pure energy healing crystal. Okay, you're allowed to kiss your crystal. You can open your eyes and come back to yourself. I cannot help you to become the most amazing crystal healer in the world. I cannot even help you become that which you may want to be, but I can give you certain bits of information that has helped me along my journey to work with crystals and to be fairly successful. And what I've shared with you is exactly how I work with crystals. I haven't held anything back. I haven't lied to you. I'm not trying to hold anything. This is exactly how I work. There are moments where I will be thrown, and what I thought was what I should have done, I will get a bolt and say, no, that's not what we're doing. And then I'll shift to something else. So what I always try and do is be open to never being too in the mind, to be too focused on what I should do rather than be focused on what spirit or I believe the universe is telling me. Because my belief, my whole belief in this was when I first started this work, I used to come home and say, you're not going to believe this. I worked on a client and gave her healing for this. I had a crystal on her heart. When she left, somebody else came. I gave them that crystal who was sat in the room while their child were having healing. And then I just gave her that crystal, what I just worked on that woman for. And she'd say, why have you given me this crystal? And I'd say, I don't know. And then she would say, that's weird. This is beautiful. And I'm feeling the healing. And I just lost my pet. And I'd say, the lady I've just healed has just lost a pet. And this was so like, you just can't make it up. It's impossible that this synchronicity is so divine that I realized that there's definitely something in this. And up to this day, after all these years, I've trusted in that. And I've worked on crystals and I've not questioned. Of course, I've worked on crystals if it's directly for a family member or a friend, and then I'd gift it to them out of love. But most of the time when I'm working on a crystal, and by the way, sometimes I can work on a crystal for a family member and then all of a sudden give it to somebody else. Sometimes I can be wrong. But how does spirit actually tell you to do something? So sometimes for me, I'll do something and think, oh, it wasn't really for that person. It was for this. So we can be kind of like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but they seem to know what they're doing. So why don't you just shut up, Mark, and just get on with it and trust in the process. What I've given you is bullet points, 3 bullet points of how I normally work. But I got to say, to finish off with this workshop, don't follow my flow. Don't follow my pattern. Follow your own pattern and you'll find that that works. And I believe that following this universal flow in whichever way it takes you, and however you feel, whatever issue, pain, emotion, follow it and trust the guidance. And you'll never get let down. I mean, I don't have a crystal in here that I'm thinking, I don't know why I've worked on that. And it's still here after 10 years. I know that when I finished, it's gone. I don't even think about why or when and how. And, it just happens. It literally just happens. And that literally just happens is what I believe is another world called the spirit world, who work alongside us and they are absolutely hundreds of years ahead of us. Things that we do, it's already been done years ago. So what I finished and done with, this could have been prepared years ago. So they know what we go through, and they're getting things ready for our future. And if you can embrace that and understand that, then you realize that we're always protected, we're always loved, and they will always get what they need to us. It might not be a crystal, it might be somebody, it might not be somebody, it might be something, and so on. So I trust in it. I hope you enjoyed that. It's not thunderbolt and lightning strikes. It's quite simple. It's easy. But the only but I have is that crystals are wonderful for two things. They're wonderful to heal yourself with, and they're wonderful to give energy into them. So if you're not feeling well, you're not going to go and ride a bike. If you're feeling strong and healthy, you're going to go and ride a bike. That's the same thing with a crystal. So work with the crystal when you're feeling strong, like you're riding a bike. And when you're not feeling well, pick the crystal up and let it heal you. The dynamo effect. So that's it. That's my workshop. And I hope you enjoyed it. Actually, it's gone by quite quickly. We've nearly done an hour. So that's great. Any questions before I go? 3 minutes. Just ask me anything and I'll try and give you my answer. I hope you experienced something or got some feelings, and I hope you really got what my intention was. Please upload this video. I will. You're most welcome. We are all great healers. All of us. Fantastic workshop. Much appreciated to you as well, Brendan. Thank you so much. Yeah. The simplest things are normally the most profound. Thank you so much, everybody. I wish you all a lovely evening. My crystal was very... Sorry. Thank you. Yes, very normal. Anytime a crystal is hot, it means you're working in that energy. And don't get upset if your crystal was cold, because sometimes cold energy is something that happens and is equally powerful. So hot and cold is a good sign. Just shows you're working with good energy. Tears behind my eyes. Beautiful. Tears of the heart, a sign of the heart opening. Exactly. So this is just energy changing. When you work with energy, this can and does happen. You get boiling, and like when I worked with that. Sorry, I'm just gonna have a little drink. When you work with like my clientele, my friends, I don't really like to call them clients, but my friends that I work with through the whole of their healing process. And some people are inevitably going to leave this world. At the moment of leaving this world, sometimes I don't know if there's any healers there who've ever been through this. There's something profound that happens when we move into the spirit world, or we're about to move into the spirit world. And it's a phenomena that I talk about in my book. And that's the energy in the room that sets on fire. So the room feels like it's a sauna, and it's incredible. But that I come to realize is that it's the moment to have that high frequency in the room, the cleansing of the room, for you to leave your body and vibrate into the spirit world. So that's why I just don't buy into the trap effect, because I see and feel this lovely energy of this natural move from ourselves into the spirit world. I've seen it too many times. You can say what you want, but no, it's not a trap. There isn't a trap. It's the most natural thing in the world is moving out of this body into the spirit world. So I probably upset somebody now. Now I'm going to get beaten up. emotionally. And yeah, there's so many people in a bad place at the moment, guys. The world is getting more and more painful, more angry, more disconnected. There's more people attacking, there's more people hunting, there's not more people turning into, I can't even say wolves because wolves are beautiful, but they're turning into like packs of animals. And it's just, it really is a depressing time that we are attacked so much lately. I've seen a huge rise of attacks from people who have been injected. I really have seen that. I often ask, have you been injected? And yeah, the reaction is dreadful. But this is a beautiful thing to do, and I don't want to leave it on a bad note, but now you know what to do. Give it a try tonight. Give it a try tomorrow. And when, I guess this is a good thing to remember, when you're really happy with a crystal, your crystal will tell you. You don't tell the crystal tells you. So I think that's ready. Then you'll come the next day and think, no, I need to put a bit more energy into that. And then as you start to put the energy in, right, you might think, I'll put some more energy. You'll go, oh, I don't need to. It's amazing how the crystal will tell you when it's got what it needs, because the crystal already has incredible energy. You don't need to do this, but this is just an extra. It's just like, for me, it's just something else that I naturally, organically moved into because I've watched my clients. And you could easily argue and say to me, well, maybe it was the crystal that did that and you didn't need to stick it on a heart, and it wasn't naturally, just the crystal just works on its own. I would say, well, maybe you're right. But up till this moment, I've loved doing this, and I've loved putting energy work into crystals. And I don't know, I might, end up in the spirit world thinking, oh, it was just a crystal. And maybe it might be, but why would spirit encourage me? Why would spirit come and give me this information? Why? Because there's times when my friends will say, can you connect to spirit? And I'll say, I can't. I don't have a connection or nothing. So I can't really feel anything, right? I can't make it happen. I don't have a direct line. So I can't, like, so why is it that when I work on a crystal, spirits come through, spirit world comes through? So there's got to be something in it, or else they wouldn't come. Then that'd give me like, okay, well, there's nothing to be done here. So I do think a lot, and I try and consider myself rational, but the work that we do is never rational. It's never, something that you can write down and, okay, this is, because it's all a belief. It's, you don't see it. So all I know is what I know deep in my heart. And when I work with crystals, it's fascinating. It's fascinating. I love working on every single crystal. It's fascinating. So there you go. Wow. That's pretty awesome. Wow. That's something else. That, I don't know. Back of my tongue is red. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm cleansing. I've been on this cleansing protocol. I stopped. I finished my last drink of teas. I have to make some more. I've got none left, so I've got them over there. I have to work on them because we've run out on the website on the horsetail, and I've started doing a protocol. So maybe it's the protocol. It's a Candida protocol, even though I don't drink, have sugar. And also I'm doing a protocol. I've been taking the drops in there, hydrogen peroxide. So maybe it's that. I don't know. But I'm working on myself every day, and I don't stop. So thanks. Thank you for your energy, time. I appreciate it. I know you do. So working through you. Thank you, Anna. That's very kind. I've never been to Sidonia. I've got many friends. I have a lot of people from America who came for readings. In fact, most of my clients were from Denmark and America. And one of my clients was, I'm not going to say her name, but fairly famous lady in the spiritual world. And we sat and had a coffee when she came back. And she was walking around with another friend. And they passed this man. And as they passed this man, past the vortex, she said, "That was strange. Who was that man?" And she said, "Oh, it's one of them." And she says, "One of who?" She says, "One of them, not of this world." And as if it was just like, should we go for a coffee kind of thing? It's like, it was just so like, and she was fascinated by it. And so apparently there's these vortexes are not only energy portals for other worlds, but they're very similar to ley lines that give you good energy. And she said, you can get very dizzy and headaches and movements and stuff. Yeah, but I've never felt the pull, just like I've never felt the pull to India. Maybe one day I will, and one day I'll go to Sedona. But I do find it fascinating. Thank you. I do find it fascinating. Phenomenal. Sound healing practice with crystals, I tell you now, is one of the most powerful energies in the world. So after I finish with my crystals, all of them. So when I finish with the ones behind me, maybe tomorrow, they go into the Moldavite singing bowl, sound bowl, and I'll play that sound bowl. Maybe, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 10 minutes. And then that's the end of my pure energy crystals. And then they go down to the office, and then the office is cleansed and cleared, and singing bowls are played throughout the week. So it's high vibe. On a side note, I've got to go now, but on a side note, because I've got a podcast to do now. So on a side note, I promise that next week I'm going to get the beautiful Peruvian Cecilia to come here, and together we're going to do a healing session with her singing bowls, and I'm going to blast energy through the screen with the singing bowls and try and connect to the same energy frequency and give energy through the screen. And that's going to be live next week. I promise I'm going to do that. Definitely. So that's the end. I love doing this. I love doing this work. I love sharing this work with everybody. I love sharing it freely. There is over 2,300 videos on YouTube which are free to watch. Yes, there are some which are heavy, and there are some people who are disappointed with me right now because I'm not full of love and light all the time. And I do apologize, but I can't be anything that what I am. So those who go, I get it. I completely get it. But I don't want to look back on my life and just say I didn't speak out. I didn't speak the truth. I just left it to others. I want to feel as if I became part of the change in the world. And I think the only way you can change the world is by knowledge, wisdom, and truth. So, from my heart to yours, have a beautiful evening. And again, I apologize for anybody that I feel as if I've given bad or negative thoughts and feelings. It was only ever to help waken people up to the truth so that they can then take control of their life and make the change. Bye for now. Bye, guys. I'll try and upload this now so it's on YouTube. Bye, guys. Bye-bye. Try and switch it off. Okay, I think I've got it. Okay, bye, guys. Bye, everybody.